Welcome to Leigh Dickey TV. Hit subscribe to follow along with the fun. Now let's get on to today's video. How I would have written out Lucas Black's Christopher LaSalle character from NCIS New Orleans. I tell you, next. Now, if memory serves me right, Lucas Black and the Christopher LaSalle character, the Christopher LaSalle character in NCIS New Orleans was killed off in season 6, trying to find out what happened to his on-screen brother Cade, or find out how his on-screen brother Cade was killed. So Lucas Black goes following these leads and is shot, wounded, and eventually dies later in a hospital. I think his final credit on NCIS New Orleans as a regular cast member was season 6, episode 10. I think that's what it was, when the character finally passes away in hospital. Now that's what actually happened. How I would do it, I tell you all about it coming up right now. In terms of how I would have written out Lucas Black and the Christopher LaSalle character from NCIS New Orleans, I wouldn't have the character sort of get killed off. I wouldn't have him get shot. I wouldn't have him get wounded. Now, I would keep the fact that the older LaSalle brother, Cade, I forget the actor's name who played Cade LaSalle, forgive me, but I would have the Cade LaSalle character, Chris LaSalle's older brother, get killed, and then have sort of Christopher LaSalle, Lucas Black, get a bit despondent, depressed, and all that, and sort of question his career at NCIS, right? So I'd have him question his career at NCIS with the New Orleans field office. Now I know his father died earlier on in, I think was season 6, season 5, and then left sort of Christopher LaSalle the family business, and he had to run it while being an NCIS agent, while the family business was sort of based back home in Alabama. Now, I wouldn't sort of have him go home to run the family business, but I would have him sort of go home and become sort of like head the NCIS Alabama office, or have him sort of stay in law enforcement in terms of, like, say, at a more local level, just because, you know, have him be a bit sort of dejected and despondent over, like, his career at NCIS because of his older brother's demise, and just have him be a bit, like, just question his career and what he's doing at NCIS New Orleans, but then, you know, eventually come to the conclusion that, yeah, I think it's best if I just go home and then become, say, you know, sort of a law enforcement official on a local level somehow, while still running the family business, right? Like, if he wants to stay in law enforcement, okay, because he showed that when his on-screen father left him the family business, and he chose to stay with NCIS New Orleans, yet run the family company that's based out of Alabama while he was based in NOLA, right? So have him stay in law enforcement, go back to Alabama, but run the family business as well. Now, at this point, this is going to tie into my, you know, how I would have written out Shalita Grant and this Sonia Percy character, and how this is all going to intertwine. I'll get into that next. So how the Shalita Grant and Lucas Black character exits of both Sonia Percy and Chris LaSalle are going to intertwine. Now, you can watch my sort of how I would have written out Shalita Grant and the Sonia Percy character separately. I will link that in the cards and description in a playlist of all my other NCIS videos, so you can watch that for yourselves. But how these two character exits and actor exits sort of intertwine, how the Shalita Grant, Sonia Percy exit sort of left off was Chris LaSalle. I had written it sort of in my head where Chris LaSalle and Sonia Percy were in a relationship. They were going through the trials and tribulations of a couple. Sonia Percy wanted to, I think it was either with the ATF, her former outfit, or the DEA, join them with permission of NCIS to sort of bring down a drug ring that her friend, childhood friend, had gotten involved with she'd gotten the permission, and they're kind of fighting, going back and forth. But at the end of it, sort of LaSalle, Lucas Black, comes to his senses and then wants to marry Shalita Grant's Sonia Percy. So they're in the NCIS New Orleans field office. Lucas Black asks Shalita Grant, their character, to marry him, and she starts crying and is upset because as happy as this makes her, she made the decision to leave and is like, look, I'm sorry, I can't right now. I love you. Then sort of backpedals towards the door and then just runs out of the office with tears in her eyes, with Lucas Black sort of there on one knee, wondering, like, looking around all confused, upset, and then have the team come out just kind of disappointed, like wanting to be all happy and surprised for the couple, but they're not, because Shalita Grant and Sonia Percy leave the series, leave the show, and sort of basically leave NCIS New Orleans. So that is a quick synopsis of how I would have written out Shalita Grant from NCIS New Orleans. But if you want to watch the full video, I'll link it in the cards and in the description so you can watch it for yourselves. Now, how those two character exits intertwine, the Shalita Grant Sonia Percy exit and this Lucas Black Christopher LaSalle exit, how these things intertwine goes as follows. Now I would have Lucas Black's Christopher LaSalle come to this sort of decision on his own, where he decides to go back to Alabama, leave New Orleans, leave NCIS, to just go home, run the family business, and also stay in law enforcement, just more on a local level. Now, I would have him sort of in the main sort of NCIS New Orleans office area, have him like have a meeting with the whole team. So you have like Sebastian, Rob Kirkovich, CCH Ponder, Daryl Mitchell, Scott Bakula, Nakar Zedigan, because she's there at that point, and just have everybody associated with like the NCIS team, NCIS New Orleans team on screen, have them in the NCIS office area, and have sort of Lucas Black have this speech to everybody, have him hand Dwayne Pride, Scott Bakula, his badge and his service weapon, and go, look, it's been a fun ride, love you all, but I gotta go home. And then just have them all sort of embrace Lucas Black, Christopher LaSalle, and say thanks, we'll see you on down the road. But then cut to a shot of the door to the NCIS New Orleans office and see Shalita Grant, Sonia Percy, standing at the door. And then just have her say, country mouse. Right? And then just have Lucas Black look up. So you have Shalita Grant and Lucas Black sort of walking towards each other now. And I would have a callback to Shalita Grant's exit that I had written and basically put on screen for you guys. I would have him sort of reach into his pocket and say, so, can you right now, City Mouse? And then just have her be, well, what do you mean? And then have him get on one knee in front of everybody, ask her again, will you marry me? Let's go home to Alabama. Have her say, of course I will, country mouse. Have them kiss, have them stand up, have them embrace, have the entire team embrace the couple, say, good luck down the road. If you need anything, feel free to reach out at any time. And if you want to come back, your jobs are always open here. And then just have them walk out the door as a happy couple, and then cut to a shot at the end where the credits come up with sort of Lucas Black and Shalita Grant's characters, Sonia Percy and Chris LaSalle, have them kiss one final time, and then credits come up and you cut to credits, or you fade to that last commercial break, and then you just come back from commercial, and then you have the credits roll. That's how I would end it, where you would just have that final shot of Sonia Percy and Chris LaSalle, played by Shalita Grant and Lucas Black, respectively, kiss, and then have the credits start to come up, and then that would be the end of the episode. And that is how I would handle both the Sonia Percy, but mainly the Chris LaSalle, Lucas Black exit from NCIS New Orleans. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to wrap this up. My name is Leigh Dickey. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. You can listen to the audio form of these podcasts on either Yo Nostalgia and the Beats and Speaks podcast on your favorite podcast app and player of choice. Please do leave us a 5-star rating and review. Links to both podcasts are in the description. Again, I have been Leigh Dickey. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. And if you want me to do more of these hypotheticals, the how I would have written out or how I would have handled something that Hollywood has already done, let me know. Leave your suggestions down in the comments. Thanks again for watching. I have been Leigh Dickey. Let's wrap this up. Thanks again for watching. Take care. We'll talk to you later. Peace. Thanks for tuning in to Leigh Dickey TV. New episodes are available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Subscribe to follow along with the fun.